Okay, so Zillow just released another list. It's a top 10 list, and we're going to get into it. It's the top 10 best metros for first-time home buyers. I am Stephen Clark. I am a house flipper, flipped about 100 houses and sold about 200 houses. So I'm going to give you my unique take on this. I'm actually back in a town that I flip houses in right now to double check on everything and to look over everything and to make sure things are going well. So the thing here is that it is the biggest news that we've had over the last couple months are these interest rates hikes, right? Like the interest rate hikes from the Fed have been really destroying the housing market. Look at right here. This is probably the most impactful chart that we can look at. So monthly payment on a $400,000 loan, we can see right here with the corresponding credit scores, it goes up to 4,000. On the medium, it goes up to 3,500, and then we have on the high, it's about a little under 3,500 as well. And then with the very high scores, you're at about 3,200 or whatever. That has just ballooned massively over the last little while because of the interest rate hike. So we have all these towns that I've done videos on about towns that are crashing, towns that aren't doing so well, towns that are losing population and or losing their ability to be affordable. Lots of the things that we saw really explode was the Southwest, Austin, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, also some of the Sun Belt around Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Florida, which I don't know because I'm in South Carolina right now. I don't see a lot of sun. That's neither here nor there. But those have been the main stories. And what we haven't really looked at as much are where would you go? What are the first-time homebuyers going? Where should they go? Where is still maybe kind of affordable? Where is some place that still maybe you'll be able to get into a home that you can afford and start to build some kind of generational wealth or start to build some sort of investment over the long term. Now, you can always debate whether a primary residence is an asset and or liability. I would put it in a liability column. However, if you do a house hacking thing, you can quickly make it an asset, or if you do duplex or multifamily or something like that, you can quickly make that an asset as well. So I think this is a great list to do and to look at, and they have a couple things that are really massive. So lots of them are in the Midwest. So the Rust Belt, as opposed to the Sun Belt, is really making some headway right now. This is where some of the deals are being found. This is where a lot of the things are starting to be affordable, but also starting to have people buy there, right? You're starting to see a little bit of an uptick in these things that have traditionally not been really popular. And so we can see right here, these are all kind of Rust Belt things, with the first number one coming in as Wichita, Kansas. Now, Wichita, Kansas for a long time has been a place that was just kind of steady growth. Now, the thing with all these is that they're really hard to have a lot of appreciation in. So back in the day, when you saw a lot of investors from California, New York, or whatever coming down and buying things in the South or whatever, you were getting a lot of appreciation, because historically those places had a lot of appreciation going on as well. So it kind of stood to reason that they were still going to continue with appreciation. These markets have traditionally not done a ton of appreciation. I would say, save for Pittsburgh and some places in Ohio, but the vast majority of them have just seen kind of steady growth. That's why they were, I'm sorry, not even steady growth, just kind of flatline growth, which is why you kind of see them being really popular for buy and holds. And the buy and holds were the main thing that people were investing in these metros about. So now that the buy and hold markets are getting a little bit more popular, it's really, I think, very interesting. For maybe this would be the place that over the next 2 or 3 years that there will be some growth, right? There'll be some growth happening here for the next 2 or 3 years. Definitely there will be people that are leveraging their remote work, leveraging their remote job in order to be able to to move somewhere that is affordable, and those are the places that they say are affordable. But I will say, if you're buying right there, they've traditionally not seen a lot of growth, and they've been really buy and hold markets, really, as opposed to like vacation markets with Airbnb, or necessarily flip markets or something like that. So it's something to look at when you are considering investing. Let's see how they kind of did this, right? So Wichita, Kansas was the first one. 6 metros in the Midwest, including Kansas, Ohio, Michigan, Missouri. We went over that. First-time home buyers now represent 45% of all home buyers, up from 37% last year, in line with the pre-pandemic share. So they've analyzed this with, they said affordability is extremely challenging these days. Some markets will be hospitable more than others for the first-time home buyers. These metros are potential hotbeds for those looking to buy their first home. Not only will shoppers find more affordable monthly mortgage costs and have an easier time qualifying for a smaller loan, but rent is also more affordable than elsewhere in the country, shortening the time it takes to save for a down payment, which is really, really great. And I would love to know anyone that's kind of in these metros what they think. They said Kansas landed on the top spot because of affordability. It's among the top metros where people spend the smallest share of their income on rent and mortgage costs. And now that mortgage costs has really, really ballooned even more, that's going to be something that is going to be way more important to discuss as the as we go on here, which means more options and bargaining power for potential home buyers. Wichita home shoppers can also find a number of deals popping up, with 22% of listings seeing a price cut in October. That is another good thing, is that as we move more into this, we will be seeing more price cuts. We will be seeing more sellers drop their prices, more sellers that are sustaining a longer time on the market. And when that happens, you're going to see hopefully some more affordability eventually. So I think that's really important to know, and very impactful to see. 22% of listings seeing a price cut in October, which is, really, really huge. So Ohio, Toledo, Akron, and Cleveland are amongst the top 10. Detroit is the largest metro in top 10, ranking as the nation's 12th largest. St. Louis, Pittsburgh are also on the top of the list of the top 30. It rose because of Zillow saying that this was best for single renters. And if it's best for single renters, it's pretty much going to be pretty good for first-time home buyers as well. They can get an FHA loan with probably the lowest down payment they're ever going to get in their lives, 3.5%, and then go on from there. Affordability remains the number one challenge for first-time home buyers. If they can overcome that significant hurdle, aspiring buyers have a better chance of landing a home that they haven't been able to in several years, which is good. This is one thing that will be good eventually when the prices do drop, that we're going to be able to see home buyers now able to get back into the swing of things and be able to actually afford something that they are looking at. Because as a house flipper, I always flipped first-time home buyer homes, and I was a huge fan of that, and still do. And I would buy them where they wouldn't traditionally be able to be financed from like an FHA loan or something like that. So those first-time home buyer loans weren't able to finance them. But then if you buy them, fix them up, and then resell them, then you make it so people can finance them, which is really, really good. So that's what we do here. Anyway, drop down below, get links. We do one-on-one coaching here. There's a couple of little courses I'm putting together just to kind of get you up to speed on things, but we haven't launched that yet. And we're killing it on TikTok, so go over there and check it out. See you.